Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzales, and my guest today is a voice actor known for his work in Family Guy and Pokemon, and he is most recently the voice of the champion in the brand new Marvel fighting game, Marvel Tokon. I'm so excited to be joined by Sean Kenin Elias-Reyes. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good, thank you.
Great,
I am
great.
so excited to have you here today and talk all
Ah,
things Marvel Tokon. The game is not only beautiful, but it's so fun.
it is such a gorgeous game. I'm obsessed with it. I injured myself terribly on Monday of last week. I was in California helping my wife, deal with her parents' house, moving a lot of furniture and books and all this stuff, and we came out of that fairly unscathed. I'm a man of a certain age, so like I was a little tired, but and I couldn't wait to get home and get back to work and and check out the game. And then I injured myself getting off of a city bike, not even on a city bike. I was getting off of a city bike and I slammed my leg against against the city bike light and gave myself a muscle contusion so big that I had to like sit with my leg up for like the next day. So it ended up being that I ended up spending the entire next day, 12 hours, just playing all 5 episodes of Marvel Tokon.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry about your leg, but it
Yeah,
did give you the perfect excuse to just,
you know.
take it easy and relax and play.
Yes, the universe gave me a reason, and it was super fun. I was so excited to have done all to have played through all 5 episodes and reminisce about the things that I had seen when we were recording it originally, and be so excited to be finally here, like seeing it.
Ah, that is so awesome. Yeah, it's so fun. The first time I got to play it was at San Diego Comic-Con. They had a really cool booth set up with like a giant storm and a giant Doctor Doom, and they were like facing off. And then they had like the old school kind of arcade looking machines with the
It's so fun.
PlayStation controllers, and it was just so fun and so addicting. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I've loved it. I think it's just a really cool addition to the Marvel games that we have right now. And the champion is such a cool character. I love his design. I love his voice lines. Like, what a cool character to get to voice.
I am so blown away. Like, you don't understand. Like, when I first auditioned for this, I didn't know what it was, and then, because everything comes under, secret names and secret, even the characters sometimes have secret names, especially with Marvel. And so I didn't know, like they kind of gave a vague explanation. And sometimes you can suss out who the character is by their explanation. Like, when they're explaining, a character that is a short, stout, swarthy guy with claws, you're like, okay, I know you're explaining Wolverine. Like, I mean, I'm obviously auditioning for such and such character, right? But when they're explaining this character, I'm like, who is this? And I couldn't talk to anybody about it, and I'm like trying to figure it out myself. And then I got my and then I got booked, and the first session was also not super. I didn't super understand what was going on. Like I was like the champion. I was like, I don't even think I remember hearing of that character. Like, is this a character for the game? Is it, but it is a deep cut, this character. Like this guy goes back to like the 80s.
Yeah.
And not many people have like, brought him back. So I'm super excited. I mean, like, as a voice actor, it's tremendously fun to be able to give a character a voice, especially one that you get to imagine for the first time yourself. So that was awesome, and I cannot thank them enough for giving me this opportunity because it's just such a fun character.
Ah, yeah, he's so cool. And like you said, he goes way back to the comics.
Yeah,
He's looked different throughout the years, but he's
yeah,
been the same, overpowered, really cool being. And it's just
yeah,
so fun to have him in this game. I love something that the like Marvel Rivals, Marvel Tokon, what they're doing is they're introducing characters to a wide audience that, this is their first time experiencing them. So
yeah.
for people who are meeting Champion for the first time, what's something that you would like them to know about him?
What is about the champion?
Yeah.
Well, of course, that he's an elder of the universe. Well, I think, gosh, I love the idea that this character respects fighting above all else. Well, I mean, what a great foil for everybody to be fighting against in this game. And for the reasons of a fighting game, right? This is his whole life. This is what he does. He gets creatures to fight against each other and then fight him. So it kind of is perfect for a fighting game, and it's amazing to me that it's this is the first time we're seeing this character in this kind of capacity. Um, you know, I love how honorable he is in many respects. Like, I mean, he's doing this for these purposes of stealing these worlds and putting them in this pocket universe and all these things, right? But he's not without honor. And when he's beaten, he says, "Okay, fair enough, you beat me."
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a cool thing for even a bad guy, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but there is an episode where, one of the episodes, like, we see what the bad guys really do when they win, right? So yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited about that aspect of him. I'm excited to see. I as yet don't know what the DLCs are going to be like.
Yeah.
I hope that there's many. I hope that there's more episodes for the champion to show up in. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do. Um, you know, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think what I'd like people to know is that he's like an honorable character. He's like, he loves fighting and the idea of what you do when you lose graciously.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. I
Yeah.
agree with that. And yeah, just what a cool introduction for people who have never gotten to read about him or see him in comics. Like to have him, in this style and like these beautiful colors and the animation, everything's just so gorgeous with this game.
Oh my gosh. I mean, all of the artists involved in this, from the comic book artists to the anime. I mean, like the cutscenes that feel like they're from an anime series
Yeah.
that are just beautiful. To the game designers who have, as far as I'm concerned, like built one of the most beautiful fighting games
Yeah.
I've seen in a long time. And I'm a fan of fighting games. I love fighting games. I love I like Marvel versus Capcom. I like the DC versus Mortal Kombat. I love Injustice. I love these games. So to have that be so gorgeous
Mm.
and feel like a comic book. I mean, like I love that when you do certain combinations, um, the fight format turns into a comic book format and then throws the character through the comic book format. I love when certain characters do a move, they kind of double up and they kind of have this kind of like a halftone version of themselves to the right or to the left. It's just they've really managed to create something that feels so much like you're playing a comic book, which I find really cool.
Oh, love it so much.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I was doing research on Champion, I came across several different descriptions of the character, from arrogant to ruthless to an antagonist. You mentioned, maybe he's not exactly a villain because then you do see what happens when the real villains, like there's Green Goblin in the game and Carnage
yeah.
in the game. How do you view Champion? Do you yourself view him as a villain, or is he more of just like an antagonist? How would you describe him?
Well, gosh, that's interesting to ask. I think he's proud. He's prideful, clearly. And he thinks a lot of himself, as he should, because he's clearly very powerful and capable.
Mhm.
But I think that there's that wherever these elders of the universe sort of come from, and whatever, I think that it must be very boring to be an elder of the universe at a certain point to be that powerful, right? And so how do you spend your time, right? Um, and so I think, yeah, gosh, how do I see him? I almost, yeah, almost as one of those bad guys that just maybe is a little misunderstood. I don't know. Like because I do feel like then he goes on, even the worlds that he conquers, right? We think blowing them up. We think he's destroying them. And then, but it turns out he's training them, right? Like to make them stronger and better. Now, I mean, in the end, to just satisfy his constant need for fighting. But I
Mhm.
mean, but you know, I don't know. It's interesting that he doesn't vanquish his enemies. He tries
Yeah.
to make them stronger. I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's you know, complicated.
Yeah, no, I agree. Very complicated.
Yeah.
Well, as we mentioned, the champion hasn't really been depicted in film or television yet. So you kind of got to create your own, version of how he would sound. It's not like a character like Tony Stark, where, we've had Robert Downey Jr. and
Right.
we have that, in our minds of that's how he looks, that's how he sounds. So when you're coming up with your voice for champion, how did you come up with it, and like what references did you use?
Well, that's the I think the genius around the casting process, particularly for things like Marvel, is you know I think as a voice actor, often we have this. We'll get a character, and if it's a character from, that has been done by a number of different people, we kind of like, we kind of want to reference back to those people. We kind of want to look at how they, like we don't want to stray too far from how fans might appreciate, like, like we want to give our own take on a character, but we also want to pay homage or honor the actors who came before, right? Which I think is a very natural thing, and I think it's actually pretty cool, right? Um, but you always dream of being able to play a new character, and I think that the nice thing about the casting process is that even if this had been a character like Wolverine or Cyclops or some other character like that, they Marvel tries to say, look, like we're going to describe what this character is like, but we're not going to tell you the name of the character. We want you to create a character that is like this, right? And so I almost felt like this guy was like an extremely strong uh, like elf lord or something like that at one point in my mind. Like, I was just trying to come up with something that was regal,
Yeah.
and that was made somebody feel like this person might have been the king of something or lord over something, right? Because I think that that's how it was described to me in the first place. And then they chose my voice. So in some respects, I wasn't auditioning to play the champion per se. I was auditioning to play a character, with these traits,
Yeah.
and they chose that voice for that character. I kind of love that process in some respects because you've got other people who really know what the sort of end result is going to be, but then it also gives the actors some freedom to kind of play around and do something new and interesting without having an idea in their head of what it should sound like.
Right.
You know,
No, I love that. I love that amount of freedom. It's really
yeah,
cool.
it's really really neat.
All right, so the champion has a lot of really cool lines that he gets to throw out there throughout the game. I wrote down one of mine. I love when he says, "Mutant and magic together. How interesting. Uh, Let me taste this rich, violent cocktail." Of course, I don't do it as well. But what was like your favorite line of dialogue to
Oh
record, whether
no,
it
oh
was like
no, oh
what
no,
he
oh
said or
no.
just the way you got to say it?
Gosh. I would think, I think that some of my favorite lines, gosh, I'm gonna have to look some things up right now because like, nothing's coming to mind immediately. I do love saying power moves out
Mhm.
loud. I love that in games. I mean, like, ever since the first person yelled Hadouken, like
Yeah.
I think that as voice actors, being able to yell out the move that you're gonna do, like, I think is a fun, cool thing, right?
Mhm.
It's a very fun, silly thing to be able to do, and I think that those are probably my favorite moments because you kind of bear down and you like growl out this line, imagining that you're hitting somebody or imagining that you're like doing an uppercut or a kick or something like that. And those are really cool.
Yeah.
So as I would have to say, probably some of the hit lines that I'm blanking on what they are right now. But But yeah, some of those cutscene lines are fun too.
Yeah.
I will say, and some of them are written in very flowery language, like you just said, like this rich cocktail, very funny. So yeah, I think it's probably the hit lines, the throwing a punch or doing a kick or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's really fun. Over the weekend, I had the opportunity to attend an anime convention in Anaheim, and they had a Marvel Rivals panel on Saturday and on Sunday. And the fans love when, you go down the line of the people on the panel and you yell out your alt line, and like you get like the crowd just going. So I know what you mean. Like when you get that one line that just like is
Yeah,
your
yeah,
power
yeah,
move, it's iconic.
yeah, totally, totally. That's so funny. That's so great. Yeah.
Another really cool thing about the champion is he's actually an unlockable character. Uh,
Yeah.
I've been seeing, it was funny, like when the game very first came out, I saw so many people like on day one. How do you get him? What do you do? How do you unlock him? Because sometimes it's like in the menus, sometimes it's like something you have to like put like down, up, left, right, stuff like that. Like you never
Right.
know how you get him. But now that the game's been out a little bit, people are really happy to be playing as him. Do you have any tips for playing as champion?
Wow, go through the tutorials. I am not a great player of these kinds of games. For me, it's like understand. I cannot do a combo to save my life. And like a combo where it's like a one-handed combo, fine. When I've got a hit, I have never mastered the hitting like down and triangle at the same time. Like I'm always off a little bit, and then
Mhm.
or when that has to come after hitting R1 and a triangle. It's those things are so hard, and I would say for any of the characters, champion included, go through the tutorials. There are things to be gotten by going through the tutorials as well.
Yeah.
I think you unlock other colors and things like that. Um, but I think that that's probably the best way to do it because I think the desire is to just go in and start fighting, right?
Mhm.
And you can do that, and there's a lot of button mashing that goes along with like just getting in and starting fighting. And then I started realizing, and this is the first time I've really realized this, and I think it was because I wanted to be good at it, and I'm not good at it, but I wanted to be better at it. Um, was going in to the tutorials and realizing that you know during a fight, I'm trying my hardest to try and do certain things, and sometimes you can't land a punch or you can't land that first thing, and then once you do, it's like how do you remember to get all the things in order? But when you go through a tutorial, you realize, oh, I had like there's a rhythm to it,
Mhm.
there's an ability to get a rhythm to it, and I think that that gives you the space to try things out and go, okay, like it's now possible for me to consider this at some point during a fight, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like for years, I was just somebody who was just sitting here hitting as many buttons as I
Mhm.
possibly could. Um, and there's some benefit in this game to doing that too. I mean, I will say, like, it is kind of it, it's it can be a hard and an easy fighting game to play,
Yeah.
right? And depending on how experienced the fighter is you're fighting against, um, you could do okay,
Mhm.
you know? And that's what I like about, fighting games like this. A, that it's got some episodes that you can play without the fear of fighting another person out there who might be amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go in, you can do some ranked fights. You can like fight other people who are generally in your same area. I still lose to all of those people, but one day I'm gonna win. I swear. But yeah, I think that's really cool, and I also just love that it like between survival mode and what is the mode? It's right above survival mode in the same menu area,
Oh. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
where you're unlocking different artwork for each of the characters.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then the episode mode,
Yeah.
it has so many different modes that you don't ever have to, feel like, oh, well, I'll never win this game,
Right.
right? Like you can go in and play against the CPU, you can go
Mhm.
in and play against just the characters, in the game, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
in the game, there's the promoter who's going out, and she's kind of weeding out, who is worthy of taking on the champion in the ring. Who across the Marvel universe do you think is a worthy opponent for champion?
Ooh. I mean, Doom is pretty good. You know, but as far as gosh, I'm really interested to see how Phoenix Cyclops' character does,
Mhm.
uh, because I think a Phoenix character of any kind is a pretty good um, opponent
Right.
for the champion, just by sheer power.
Mhm.
Um, and you're talking about characters that aren't currently in the game yet, right? Like,
Yeah, you could do anything that's
yeah,
in the game or anything that you would like to see added to the
I
game.
think I think Doom was pretty incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, like playing as Doom against the champion and fighting in that episode was really wild and very fun. And Doom's a cool character. You know, I think the Doom I think Doom and the champion are. I love characters that when you fight them, like you have the characters that are kind of bouncing around, like getting ready, like like they do in all games. They're kind of like
Yeah.
like kind of like preparing themselves, and then you have the character. I love those characters that are just like standing like this and
Mhm.
go smack,
Yeah.
right? Like it's just amazing when like it's just such a cool look to be a character that's watching another character do this and then go spow and the character goes flying across the screen. So I think
Yeah.
that's super fun. Um, but yeah, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see the Phoenix character. But Doom was a worthy opponent, I will say. Doom was tough.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good answer. And I'm so excited to see who else they bring to the game. There's so many options. Like, I don't even know where I would go. Like, if,
I
if they
hope
were like,
this
who do you
game
want?
goes
There's
on
so many
for.
options.
I hope this game goes on forever. I mean, like,
Yeah.
because you could satisfy so many people. I mean,
Yeah.
like, people are already. I'm so glad to see. You know, whenever you work on a project, you hope like I hope it's good. I hope people like it, right? Regardless of whether I think it's good, I hope
Right.
other people find that it's good, right? And there's a lot of stuff that you do that like doesn't land, right?
Mhm.
Like and I'm so glad that this is landing. Like
Yeah.
when I was initially watching some of the like when they were doing beta testing and when they were and this is again to the credit of the game developers. Um, from what I understand, the people who were doing beta testing early on were able to send their comments, and I guess the game developers responded with
Oh, that's great.
adjustments to the game or adjustments to gameplay in ways that or they had the ideas all along
Hmm.
and they just came out after a time. But I saw the game from beginning beta and people kind of tentatively going, this could be good, but it could also really be really bad,
Hmm.
to, oh, this looks like it could be really good, to like, and then like you get to this place where like people are loving this game.
Yeah.
I'm really jazzed about that. I could not be happier about that. You always want something you work on to be good, and this is like so good.
Yeah.
And it has the opportunity to be even better. I mean, like I'm watching, I find myself going on to YouTube. I'm pointing up here because my screen's up here. Going up to YouTube and like and going, okay, who they bring out? Oh, this guy thinks they're bringing out the Fantastic Four next. Ooh, that could be cool. I don't know any of
Yeah.
this. Who knows? But like some guys, like he's working out the various different things they could be doing, and
Mhm.
maybe there's this character, and maybe there's that character, and I'm like, I would play all of those characters. This looks incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm psyched. I'm psyched to see whatever they decide to bring out, and I hope it comes with more episodes too.
Yeah.
Because as much as I would love to see other characters involved in, versus gameplay, whether I'm playing with my friends at home or whether I'm playing with people online, um, I would love to see more episodes. I'd love to act more episodes,
Yeah.
right? More episodes just means that there's more opportunities for the champion to come back and interact with other characters,
Mhm.
other than just in their fights.
Yeah.
So so yeah, so I guess we'll see.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, because there's
Oh my
so
God.
many. so many options. Like you can go get some more X-Men, you could go, like you said, the Fantastic Four, so many different teams, or you could bring in, like how Rivals has like Luna Snow and Jeff the Land Shark, characters that, are not on the top of your mind, but once they're put in the game, you're like, oh, what a cool addition.
Yeah, yeah. My son is a huge Rivals fan. He's playing with his friends all the time, and like I mean, my son goes to Syracuse here in New York. He's a senior, and he always my PS5
Mhm.
was my PS5, and then he started going to school, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, I've been playing it a lot more than you've been playing it. Do you mind if I take it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, you have." And like, "Okay, so you can take it." And he started, and so it's been up with him every school year, and then I get to play stuff, on the holidays and on the over the summer. And then he was getting ready to go to school, and I'm like, "Well, Tokon Fighting Souls just came out, and I kind of feel like I should get it right." And so, like, I've got the PS5 now until we go and visit him in October, at the end of October, and then he expects it back. But in the meantime, while I have it, he has to be able to call me and tell me when to play Rivals so that if there's something to win or something to get in Rivals that I do that. So
Uh-huh.
I have these I'm beholden now to playing Rivals a few times myself, in order to make sure that my son gets whatever power packs or whatever
Mhm.
character packs and things like that he wants. So
Oh, that is awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
I love it. I just, yeah, can't wait to see where Tokon takes us next. When you look back at, everything you got to do up to this point, we're hoping for more
Yeah.
with the champion. What is your favorite thing about getting to voice him?
I mean, who 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 doesn't who is a voice actor, or as an actor in general, does not dream of being a big bad in some franchise,
Yeah.
right? Um, to be playing the big bad in this game is just such a dream come true. I really love Marvel, and I love, I've loved all the movies, and I was a reader of it when I was a kid, and I think that the fact that I was given the tremendous responsibility, to wield this great power. With great responsibility comes great power. um, just is such an honor,
Yeah.
and I'm super excited for that. And I could not be. It's such a highlight for my career.
Oh.
For me personally.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have jobs that pay more. Sometimes you have jobs that are higher profile. Sometimes you have jobs that are really just for you,
Yeah.
right? But to be able to do this is a huge one. This is big for me, and I just love it. I love the way it looks. I love the anime sequences. I'm like, could they make a TV show out of this? This would be
Oh,
incredible,
I
like that
wish.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, you know. The fact that there's that great song, that great Japanese song
Hmm.
at the beginning, that's super cool. Yeah, just
Ah,
I love it.
me too.
Yeah,
Uh, Sean, I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your
thank
day and
you.
being here talking all things champion and Marvel Tokon. In the meantime, if people want to follow you and keep up with all your other upcoming projects and announcements, where's a good place for people to come and follow you?
Yeah, I'm Sean Kenin on Instagram. SeanKenin.com is my website, although I haven't updated that in a while, so I need to do that. I'm also, I'm a TV and film actor, and I am in musical theater. I came to New York to be a musical theater actor. I'm getting back to doing that. I just did a reading of a really incredible musical version of Man in the Iron Mask, where I got to play Aramis, which was super cool. Yeah, stay tuned. I try to do cabarets in New York every once in a while, so if anybody wants to come and check that out too.
Oh,
Um,
fun.
and I've been told that I should start doing some cons. We'll see. My agent has invited me to join him at Comic Con. I haven't been invited by Marvel Tokon yet to join Comic Con, but I'd love to do more of that kind of stuff. So I'll let people know when I'm out there doing that kind of stuff too.
Well, I'll keep an eye out and thank you so much for being here. I hope you have
Thank
a
you.
great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, and I hope that your car behaves next time you need to go out and get some Starbucks.
Yes, thank you.
No man should go without a Starbucks.
I agree.
All right, brought
Bye,
to you by
Sean.
Starbucks. Take care.